Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, honey?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm a Leo and it's a Leo full moon, so I'm pretty overstimulated, you might say.
I think that's something that you're gonna talk about with these energies that's actually happening. So yeah. So let's go ahead and clear space and energy. And I have my meditation singing bowl, and we can go ahead and get started. So
Sounds good.
okay. Okay. I was in Zen mode, like.
I
So
confirmed it.
yeah, well, today is the Leo full moon. Tell us about what this moon brings to us today.
So it was actually yesterday. So we're into the first full day. It has about a 3 day intensified kind of influence. And basically, it is a very fixed energy. So a T square is when we have a full moon, which the sun is opposite the moon, and we have the planet Jupiter that's sort of intersecting it, which would be a T square. And we have a little treat for our viewers, right?
What trait?
The chart.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so there you go. We know it's kind of small, but we've been playing with this, and
Hmm.
I might enjoy seeing how the planets are spread. And when I talk about a T square, I'm talking about the sun in the fifth house is opposite the moon. Now, this chart is for tonight. So, yesterday, the moon was exactly opposite in the 11th house. And then Jupiter is sort of straddling the eighth and ninth house. So, that's what we call a T square, an opposition with sort of a planet. And we have this all around 6 degrees was the full moon degree. And that is with Jupiter very, Jupiter is in Taurus, another fixed energy. So it's very, um, well, the positive way to use that energy is to narrow your focus. This is sort of laser focus. If you have a hard time concentrating on a project or your work or something, this energy is actually very supportive of um, gathering in your energy to focus in a very, because it's like a fixed earth energy. So, all down here through the fourth and fifth house, we have the sun and Pluto in Aquarius that we're holding hands, which again is fixed energy. And I believe yesterday during the full moon, when the sun and Pluto were holding hands, that was a historic signature. We don't see that. We don't go through that. We don't feel that on any kind of regular basis. Um, Most of us will not see the day of. Well, let me go back to this. So then you have the moon in Leo, and Leo is a fixed energy. So it's a time of very edgy, and Pluto's sun is very unpredictable. As you look at that cluster of planets down, like I'm looking at in the fourth and fifth house, you've got Mars and Mercury at the same degree in Capricorn, with Venus about 10 degrees apart, which, a 10-degree orb is has an effect. So you've kind of got clustered up there Mars, Mercury, Venus in Capricorn. And that's again very focused, very stoic kind of energy, very serious energy. It is all ruled by Saturn. So when we look at the prominent placements of this chart, we've got Sun and Pluto in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, and Mars, Mercury, Venus in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. We have Saturn in its home position in the sixth house of Pisces. And then we have Uranus that has moved past Jupiter in Taurus. So the flavor of this chart is very Uranus, Saturn, Pluto, those outer planets that represent life changes. They represent big changes. And with those three, it's about innovation. Um, all of this stuff coming out with artificial intelligence, aliens amongst us, outer space, extraterrestrials, uh, mythologies like the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, you know, where this used to be pretty obscure information that you had to go far and wide to seek out. It's almost mainstream media now of, you heard about the aliens down in Miami in the mall, and a lot of people believe that was CGI, which is an artificial intelligence type of simulation, which is very Uranus. And with Pluto in Aquarius, which Uranus rules Aquarius, and what this is called that I'm doing is disposing. So when you look at a planet and the sign it's in, you automatically dispose to the ruler of that sign. So that's how astrologers kind of hop around. Where you hear me going from Pluto to Uranus to Saturn, it's tying in those energies. And that's where we get like a fabric or a feel for what are the qualities of what's going on in our life right now. So we're somewhat out of the fallout of that Pluto Saturn conjunction 3 years ago. And I've seen a lot more transparency with the whole concept of the jab and people having problems having had it, and the CDC recommending not to take it. So this is a complete opposition or opposite stance of where we were 3 years ago. And that's what Pluto does. It kind of whooshes through an energy and tears it down to rebuild it. So what's rebuilding is a more holistic nature of people trusting their own intuition, maybe being more distrusting of healthcare industry because of the money and corruption that has been exposed. There's no really rational reason for pharmaceutical companies, which is Neptune. Neptune in Pisces is in its home. So all of those things that represent or are ruled by Neptune, which is like fuel oil, blood, poison, toxins, all of those things are very intensified with Neptune in Pisces. Right now in the seventh house, you'll see Neptune at 25 degrees Pisces with the part of fortune, which is the circle with the X in the middle at 26 Pisces. So part of fortune is how we make our money. And so, there's a lot of money involved in the pharmaceutical and oil industries. And let's see what else we have
Would
here.
it be a good time to invest into oil stocks?
Well, I think so, because you're getting all the bad press about electrical vehicles and how, if you want one to just run around your hometown, you're okay, but they're certainly not built to go across country. And people in really cold climates have found that the charging stations do not work at the sub-zero temperatures. So the real irony about, and this is very Aquarian, right? The electricity, Uranus, the electricity, and the promotion of um, new ways to use electricity, whether it be through solar energy, windmills, wind energy, or the electric vehicle, that you've seen more of this as we have had Uranus in Taurus, because there's money to be made, or there's the appearance of money to be made. Taurus has a lot to do with other people's investments. And, but the irony here is, and the transparency coming forth as Pluto gets more firmly into the sign of Aquarius, is those batteries that are in the electrical vehicles ultimately end up in landfills. So where lobbyists have tried to sell us all on going electrical because of the environment, it's deceiving, which Neptune in Pisces in its home, and there's a lot of deception amongst, the world right now on so many levels, with all of the Capricorn, Mars, Mercury, Venus, that has to do with government and our money. These are personal planets, Mercury, how our mind thinks and works. So it's very personal. It can be on a very personal level. So that's the rub, is the government or people in authority with great gobs of money come up with these industries, whether it's in the pharmaceutical industry or new modes of transportation, or new ways to use software for automation. But to what? It's not humanitarian. It's not to save our environment. That's the irony or the paradox. And I think anybody in any sort of spiritual journey or lifestyle, ultimately you come to see the universe as a paradox. There, every day, every way we live our life, contradictions. So as we've moved past the exact point of the full moon, you'll see in the sixth house, Saturn in Pisces at 5 degrees, exactly opposite the ascendant at 10 degrees Virgo. And in opposition to the horizon like that is another exposure kind of signature, exposing things. First house brings things out in the open. So you have the moon that has transited from the opposition in the 11th house to 12th house. And there's some other signatures here that definitely bring in the whole fated, past life karma kinds of energy. And let me see where that was. We have the North Node in Aries at 19 degrees, which is an exact sextile to, or semi-sextile to Uranus. So this is like sudden encounters that out of nowhere, feeling a deja vu, like you've been there before, or you've known that person before. And in Aries, when you look at where Mars is holding hands with Mercury, it could be like a communication. And fifth house is all about love and affairs and children. This might be suddenly finding out someone's pregnant, uh, some kind of suddenness. And it could be suddenly having a job promotion, suddenly changing jobs. So, but in general, it's positive with a trine. The North Node is also making a trine to the moon tonight, and those are gifts. That's when the universe wants to try to give us gifts. So manifesting becomes easier. Um, you might see more and more information about manifesting, um, practices for it, all that kind of good stuff. I lost my train of thought where I saw something and I wanted to go back to it. Um, North Node, fated encounters, past lives. Oh, children. Okay. So, North Node in Aries could be, it's definitely related to the pioneer in all of us. Like these energies are really good about, focusing on your most sincere desire and feeding that energy in gratitude. Like a whole big part of this chart and this lunation has to do with being grateful for the adversity. Like, even if you feel like some of this has kind of been knocking you around, or certainly all of us in society have been kind of pulled through a knothole in the last 3 years, and we're in somewhat of the fallout. And there's been a lot of shifts lately. We're heading into a spring that brings again historic astrological placements that none of us have ever been through in our lifetime, and many of us will not feel again. So, using that as a launching pad to build your self esteem, to build the details in your vision. We all have a lot better opportunity here, especially with the T square to Jupiter, because Jupiter is about, um, opportunity and expansion. Um, you might just pay close attention to your epiphanies and your like intuitive inklings, that small voice that that'll say something that we tend to dismiss. You might find yourself going back to school to improve your skills on something. That's what Jupiter does, is it makes us want higher education, higher mind. Um, so very, very important. The Leo moon, I'll tell you, as a Leo, I have 5 planets in Leo. And when I'm describing these energies of North Node and Aries being sudden, the interaction of Uranus with this lunation, which is making a square. Um, Uranus is making a square to the moon. So I've recently, very suddenly, discovered that one of my brothers died in 2021. So that is to do with my childhood, a sibling, um, family. Capricorn opposite Cancer brings in the family element. So that was very sudden. I had
Wait a
no
minute. So, are you talking about the estranged
uh,
brother?
the brother that had a liver transplant years ago. So it was a very weird feeling. I kind of came across it, you might say, fated. I wasn't looking for that information. It was sudden, out of the blue. And yes, in January of 2021, he passed away. And so, what's so strange about that is, um, Pluto is all about life and death, and the life death cycle uh, in every living thing. So, certainly your family unit and your siblings uh, personify that cycle in life, because generally, parents age and get old and pass on. If you have siblings, same. I'm the youngest in the batch of siblings from this little neighborhood family. So, out of four of us, two of us are left. And so that's just an example of finding out suddenly something that has a karmic or family tie. Um, and um, so that's what I'm trying to explain about North Node in Aries brings in um, people that you're tied to for lifetimes. And in families, you know, and I've said this, and I hate to sound like a repeating record, but the concept in astrology is that you choose who you're born to and when you're born, and the people in your family all have past life connections. My brother and I, he was a Gemini, and he was 7 years older than me, and we were always really, really close until he met his wife. And just one thing after another, um, she, you know, she had like seven siblings and a huge family. And so it always came that he was with them and was estranged from his parents and the rest of his siblings, probably for the last uh, 20 years. So, what's interesting about what it does psychologically is if you have family members that have some kind of rub, which with this Capricorn energy of Mars, Mercury, and Venus, there's definitely rubs in family. Um, you know, there's always that vision or thought that it will resolve itself. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But death makes it very final. So, where over these years since our other brother died, which was really kind of the final blow to our relationship, I guess in the back of my mind, I've always thought, especially around the holidays, maybe we'll eventually be old and laugh at all the past drama or upsettedness, but he's gone now. There is no more making memories. It's it. End of story. So that's kind of what Pluto does. Is a very final kind of energy, and being an Aquarius gives it that surprise element. And I will tell you, when I came across the information, and it was looking for something else through court records, and I saw his name and the word estate, and that's how I got onto the thread of finding it out. And I will tell you, I had the strangest kind of numb feeling. I couldn't cry. I I almost felt like, well, and that was that. Like, end of story. And that is quite often what a full moon will do. It's an opposition between the sun and the moon, and oppositions are often the end of the matter, the end of the story. And so that's just an example. Sometimes when a real life thing happens, it's easier to explain what the planets are doing and how it can manifest through a story like that. I
Do you think that it's also like endings, like let's just say the living, right? It could actually be an ending towards some situations that are not really working out. And that could be like the Capricorn, um, I guess, personified Capricorn, who hey, if the stuff doesn't work out, then it's time to change, or it's time to like accept
Absolutely.
things as they are.
This first full moon of the new year is the beginning point of a series of lunations taking us through the end of April that is all about change. And I
Mm,
believe it is the dynamic of our workplace, the dynamic of our personal relationships, family relationships, um, because in astrology, the sign opposite each sign is very significant. So I'm a Leo, and the opposite of Leo is Aquarius. So, um, you're a Capricorn, the opposite of that is Cancer.
mm-hmm,
So when we talk in general, socially or for entertainment purposes, about what's your sign, oh, I'm a Leo, oh, I'm a Capricorn. The When you start digging deeper into actually studying that sign, you find that you have a lot of traits of your opposite sign. It's that old adage, opposites attract.
mm-hmm,
So, you know, Leo is considered flamboyant, uh, loves bling, loves drama, entertainment, is like a clown, a child. Um, I've always kidded around and said, I know I was royalty in another family, in another lifetime, because I love the most expensive things, but have not been born into the path of having them. But
mm-hmm,
the Aquarian part of me, number one, is the astrologer, because Aquarius rules astrology. But
mm-hmm,
also, the quirkiness of Aquarius is we want to be individual. We don't want to follow what anybody else does. We want to express ourselves individually. And with Pluto coming into Aquarius for the next like 20, close to 20 years, more and more that uniqueness will be expressed in our society. I believe that's when we'll see a lot of return of small businesses. Like we're kind of seeing an implosion of people are tired of the corruption of corporate America and the fraud and the waste. So, where Aquarius is very humanitarian, you know, um, uh, that is crumbling the structures as we know it. And what has to happen to replace that is rebuild back better. And I just think history repeats itself. And there was a time in our society where, you had the Ma and Pa grocer on the corner. You knew your community. And over the years and progress, as you might call it, with uh, technology, we've gotten more detached. We do everything through Amazon. We have things dropped on our porch. We don't go out and mingle, and we're not traveling around our communities as much. And I think that we're going to see the return of that communal helping, having compassion for each other. Um, there has been a lot of news stories, and maybe it's what I manifest just because of things that have been going on the last month or so, about the horrendous condition of nursing homes in our country. And, the United States is like one of the only countries that treats its elderly like crap. When you go into other countries, elderly are treated very well. They're considered precious because of their wisdom and knowledge. Here, we kind of put them on a shelf and just leave them to deteriorate. So, what I've seen happening in my area for the last year or so, and it's very encouraging, and I think we'll see more of this, is You know how we've had all of these empty shopping centers and empty office buildings from everybody working at home or whatever? You've got all this commercial space not being leased. So it has to be repurposed somehow. And people are more on the move with their RVs and wanting to live off grid. So you have, like in my neighborhood, there's been two homes that went through foreclosure, and now like they were bought by a nonprofit. And so there are nursing assistants that live there and have anywhere from 3 to 4 elderly people. And it's in a like a regular home. And so that's what I mean about humanitarian efforts in your community, where you see a need for, um, and it could be single young mothers with children. It's not just elderly, but it's seeing the need in people who um, need help with resources. And on the news tonight, there was a story about 3 million children got dropped off out of Medicaid since the um, I guess the perimeters of what was considered COVID regulations has expired. So where back during COVID, people were extended a lot more government services because of the condition was in. I don't want to say too much about that condition, but now those orders or laws expired. And so people who were extended aid have kind of been dumped, just been dumped and have to deal with finding health care on their own that's affordable. Well, we all know how ridiculous that is. The hospitals are understaffed and there's way more need than there are providers. So what has to happen from that is a natural metamorphosis, which is what Pluto does. It rebuilds back better. And I think you'll start seeing a lot more kind of neighborhood clinics kind of services. And same in the legal community, where you see corruption in courts and the elite that we have kind of set up on a pedestal, only to find out that they have not been in integrity. So, you know, find getting back to common law and legal clinics that help people do, adoptions, divorces, basic completing forms that are issued by different government agencies. There's been this rub about whether or not you should be licensed to do that. So, you know, I still haven't found it, but I really haven't looked for it. That book, Mega Trends 2000, that's what it talks about in our future is there will not be lawyers. There will be these community legal clinics that help people do what they need to do. And I think that also includes the health community where, you've seen hospitals go bankrupt and out of business. I mean, this is just stuff unheard of. So what has to happen are smaller, more personal, more humanitarian kinds of efforts to provide the services to communities. So I
Let
think
me ask you this, and I don't mean to cut you off,
you're fine. I was
but
at the end of it.
yeah, so you know how like the South is in the United States, and you know how those attorneys are. Do you think that those Southern like attorneys are going to have like a hoedown and give like to the community when they're kind of all high and mighty about their position in society and about being I call it old money?
So I've been in the legal field for 40 years, and I can tell you there's nothing different from Southern attorneys than Northern attorneys. I mean, they're in an elite section of society. It doesn't matter what region of the country or the world they're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's an elitism. So I think what you'll see is a transparency of the corruption. And I don't think it's focused on any one region. Um,
So who's gonna like blow, like be a whistleblower? Like how's that gonna
well, I
come
think
out?
it's already started happening. There are good people amongst the corruption. There
Hmm.
are people who do have integrity and want the right thing to be done, but it's like that an analogy of David slaying Goliath. It only took one stone in the right place to take a giant out.
Hmm.
So I think what the Saturn Pluto conjunction in 2020 or at the end of 2019 triggered is a very slow roll towards bringing corruption and the elitism to the light. Because one thing you're battling is people that have blinders on, which is Neptune and Pisces at its home, that would never believe that a pharmaceutical company cared whether they lived or died or whether they were treated justly in court. So until people wake up and face the truth, which that's why I think this full moon in Leo kind of triggers an ongoing deluge of information that's going to be coming at us very quickly for the next few months because Leo is honest. It's all about loyalty and integrity and honesty and the truth. That T squared to Jupiter. Jupiter is the truth. Uh, the symbol of truth and wanting uh, to bring things to the light. So it takes, and that's where I'm saying it all starts with the community. I don't care where the community is. It all starts with the community recognizing that number one, that Aquarian unique individuality energy, that we're all uniquely different, that we all want our freedom. We've been through close 19, 20 years of Pluto and Capricorn, which is all about government authority and being under the boot of authority. So
Did you see that thing about Trudeau and about he illegally stopped those truckers from protesting?
well, and he also stole money from their accounts, which, the whole Taurus, Uranus and Taurus about our banking systems and about currency. So, I've seen different like TikTok clips and stuff of people thinking it's just great to have a chip in their hand to be able to check out their groceries or to have that electronic connection between uh, authority and a centralized banking system. And that what you just said in Canada, what happened was an example of how we don't want that kind of control, that centralized control, because Trudeau emptied those truckers' bank accounts because it was all electronic and stole from them. So the whole thing about, digital currency and Bitcoin and transitions of banking systems is to have a decentralized type of system, which means more than one authority. And the system we work under right now, the Federal Reserve, is one hub. That's one gatekeeper for all transactions. When it's decentralized, which kind of is what Pluto does, it crumbles a system. That means there could be 9 gates or 9 hubs that each transaction has to be approved through. And they've already printed uh, currency that's like got the rainbow kind of strip in it. That's makes it impossible, supposedly, to counterfeit. Um, it's, again, a sort of repeat in history. We'd have to maybe, if viewers show an interest or give you comments, we could do a history lesson on laws that transpired in 1871 when the colonies and the Bank of London made a deal that has not done anything but corrupt our system. And, if you believe in history repeats itself, then that system has crumbled and is in the process of crumbling. And you keep hearing this QFS, quantum financial system. And I don't know if you saw the other day where Elon Musk launched a satellite rocket, and that's all connected with this quantum system. Uh, what's the other? Stargate or something was another sort of program that we heard about 4 years ago. But I think what we're seeing gradually is people waking up that life has not been the, uh, you know, picket fence and systems that have been here to support us. We've had pharmaceutical companies experimenting on children and elderly with synthetic products that they have no clue what it does to a person. We've all just kind of been lab rats. And until we take control of our own freedom and our own individuality, those Aquarian kinds of energies, um, we're not going to see any major changes. And I think in the background there has been, I know for a fact with the financial system, in my work, we do a lot of wiring of money. And for years, there's just been this complete cyber attack and fraud on the SWIFT system, which is the Federal Reserve system of wiring money between accounts. And it's just the fraud involved and the money people have lost through that kind of fraud is it's just so sad and so corrupt that last year this quantum physics system has been running parallel with the old Swift system. So the question becomes, when it's like a railroad track, and the way they laid railroad tracks is a conductor would pull a lever and it would switch the track to another direction, right? And that's kind of where we're on, is we're on a train on a railroad track. And at some point, that lever is going to switch our track and we will go from the Swift system to the quantum system. And there might be some hiccups in the meantime. I don't think it's anything that we can't navigate. I think the more, I'm just going to say it, the more brainwashed you are to think that things are legitimate, the harder time you're going to have. Because just through um, the food supply chain issues, the banking issues, and I keep harping on the pharmaceutical industry, but that has been a huge, for me, seeing how dominant. So right now, Neptune is making a sextile to Pluto, which is positive for bringing out the truth. Pluto again is death. It's death to things that no longer serve. But we have just, it's almost like that whole connection between Hollywood and the White House, the whole connection between something dramatic, and like it's almost surreal how unbelievable some of the connections have been that make no sense at all. And all of us have kind of been blindly led to believe certain illusions. And those illusions, I think, are going to be what we have to work on navigating. Um, uh, I I want to believe, I don't know, 2024, they say, or it's kind of seen as this really shifty year. Like we have so many shifts and transits of different planets and things that we haven't felt before. It's kind of hard to predict. But I think the main theme and a really good rule to go by is the reminder that the only thing permanent is change, and to work on being flexible and also have your tools for keeping calm, because it's the calm segment of society that's going to be uh, trying to hold down the fort, so to speak, of people who will absolutely freak out. And I think, I mean, I'm very excited about Pluto in Aquarius because I love Aquarian energy. It's that very, revolutionary. It likes to evolve things. We've been kind of stagnant here in this last year or so, and things have already started happening. They'll continue to happen. Um, your spiritual tools for manifesting and honing in on your intuition, your breath work. You know, my astrology teacher used to always say, use the KISS method, keep it simple, sugar. And that's kind of where we are with all of this sort of chaotic shifts and turns and mixtures of energy. Because again, when you have like that, it's a very Capricorn or Saturn, Aquarius or Uranus. So it's a very Saturn, Uranus, Pluto mixture that we're in, which is all about change, which is all about revolution. It's all about tearing down false structures. And the other point that is important, and I've said it before and it's worth saying again, is, you know, every generation goes through these fears. So if you start feeling, like you're scared of what's going to happen to your money or what's going to happen to social structures, your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, everybody had the same concerns: the stock market crashing, fuel oil, war. Um, and I would just offer up trying to look at everything you see on social media with a grain of salt. And that with Neptune and Pisces, it is not as it appears. And ultimately, I think that there's going to be a moment of reality when, the truth hits, and uh, it might be a little bit of a stunned kind of feeling, but getting on the other side of that brings in the, you know, love, peace, humanitarian concepts of Pluto in Aquarius. So I don't think we've seen certainly the worst of things, but I'm not concerned that we won't navigate it just fine as long as you keep a sort of um, practice of yourself for calming your mind, calming your heart, and not getting too extreme, because that's the other part of Pluto is the extremes. So when you can kind of keep your uh, sense of middle of the road, don't believe everything you hear or see, and tune into your own intuition about what feels right to you, then I think that's where we're all trying to be, is in that spiritual grounding of utilizing our tools. And for so long, for generations, a lot of these metaphysical arts have been somewhat cloaked, and you'll see more and more of esoteric stories and modems come forth, just like, you know, healing through the mind, natural healing. Um, so, if you believe in the concept in astrology that you chose when you were born, we chose to come here at this time and be part of this evolution. And it is an evolution, and it's very exciting. It just, sometimes you just have to shake your head at what you might see, like, you know and when you see someone that um, obviously is very tied to the propaganda and very sold on the story that's trying to be told, you just have to show compassion for them. We can't convince anybody of anything that they're not ready to be convinced of. And I think that's where a deeply spiritual practice works for us, is our ability to be empathetic. That's Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, to be empathetic to people and their struggles. So much in love relationships and personal relationships has to do with childhood trauma or patterns we saw in our ancestry. And it's very hard to come out of denial, really, and want to heal deeper aspects of ourselves. So these are the times when um, you can either try to go with the flow of the different transits and shifting energies, or you'll be dragged through it. And I know, with the waves of energy as they come and go, it's only natural to have the ebb and flow of certain times feel easier than others, times feel more challenging. And, the spiritual aspect of that is, or the challenge, or I think what we're here to practice, is to be grateful for those adversities. When you can, um, sit and be faced with some horrendous set of problems, whether it's health or financial or family or relationship, whatever it might be, and sit in gratitude for that challenge, you have slayed your dragon. And that's, I think, what the spiritual journey is about, is slaying our dragons. And first we have to look the dragon in the eyes. And here we are, not too far. I think it's February 10th, the Chinese New Year of the wood dragon. So, that's very fortuitous, um, and a completely useless little factoid. If in your travels and you ever come across a sculpture or a picture or something of a dragon with 6 toes, 6-toed dragons are really fortuitous. So,
Let me count the toes on my dragon over
yeah,
here.
yeah, I always look for 6-toed dragons when I see dragons. I just think that we're in a time that is not all that stable. It's very edgy. It's very changeable. And when we're doing that kind of unpredictable, changeable energy, the best thing is to create, find the artist within yourself, whether it's um, uh, splashing paint on a canvas or writing poetry. The way I think that we grow on a lot of levels is that physical expression of creativity. It might be needlework, it might be gardening, it might be, you know, rearranging your home, just anything that makes you feel like you're creating something out of your own imagination. And no more lies. I certainly appreciate your comment. That's very nice of you. It is a very deep energy and it's going to get deeper. So I think that, being able to sit with your innermost feelings and fears is very important, whether you journal that, whether a lot of people express it through taking pictures, photography, or doing a hobby. um, I think you'll see a lot more individuality in people being expressed, and that's very exciting because mass parts of population all over the world have just been the walking dead for a really long time.
Mhm.
And I think one of the hardest realizations to come out that where would see Hollywood and movies and entertainment as entertainment. I think that what we're ultimately going to be seeing in retrospect is a lot of it was the truth and really difficult to accept as a truth. So that's the irony between uh, Neptune and Pisces spinning an illusion and Pluto and Aquarius um, wanting to revolt, you know. So, there's that Cannes Film Festival, and, you know, I think you're going to see a lot more like artsy kinds of activities in smaller ways, um, smaller communities of artistic expression, whether it be little neighborhood, um, little neighborhood festivals, or more and more we've been seeing farmers markets pop up, when the season is right and when the region is right, or wherever you are. um, I know around here last year there was a community of artists who hooked together with a farmers market, and it became like both a farmers market and explain artists coming together to display their um, whether they were carving wood items or painting or um, weaving was another one. Um, so those ancient arts like that, I think, are very important for our own mental well-being. There's always like a spiritual lesson to what your mind and hands go through to create something out of clay or yarn or whatever that modem is or media is for you to express yourself artistically. So it's an interesting time, and I think it's just going to keep getting better. We have to just be really ready for facing the dragon. You know, if you hear something that is just too difficult for you to believe, you have to make yourself, look in the mirror and believe whatever it is you heard, and be grateful for that adversity. You know, that's the hardest thing is we all get in these uh, slumps or situations that you just think, why did that happen? Or why is that person that way? Or why is this that way? And instead of saying why, I think the shift in energy and what astrology is trying to teach us is look at it head on, and with the mantra of, and this too shall pass, and this too I will overcome, and this too I give thanks for the opportunity to grow deeper and more spiritually. So it's hard, and but only as hard as we want to try and and see it. Um, so whenever you see a chart, there's a whole thing about chart patterns. There's books that are written on chart patterns. So when you see how these planets are all sort of spread out between the fourth house and the ninth house. So each section of the chart represents areas of life. And having everything kind of splattered here on the right side of the chart wheel brings in our vocation and relationships and spirituality. And I think how that plays out realistically is people seeking more spiritual meaning through their work and more spiritual meaning through their relationships, and also more concern for children and society. And so, yeah, I think I've covered everything. I did mention in my blog on lionmountainhealing.com that this weekend is a really good weekend. Leo the cat is lazy, right? I mean, it's the king of the jungle and all of that, and very strong, and the strength card and tarot. But cats can be lazy too, and there's a lazy side to Leo. I promise you.
Girl, I'm already feeling it.
This weekend would be a really good weekend just to take a few days to decompress, do something you loved as a child, or nothing at all. And Leo rules the heart. So, honor your heart. And uh, I think what the combination of things that this Leo's been through lately with the, you know, losses of people special to me, um, makes um, makes you feel um, how important it is to honor difficult feelings. Like when you hear psychologists or psychiatrists talk about grief, one of the worst things a person can do is to push it down or try not to go through all of the different stages of grief. And so what I was thinking as I was looking at the weekend about decompressing and honoring your heart is, whether it's the loss of a person, a relationship, a job, a pet, any of the losses that we've experienced in our life, it's important that we give ourselves time to honor that, and not deny it, because it will inevitably rise up in another way, that's unintentional, whether, it's projected on somebody the wrong way or whatever. And I've been doing this meditation this week that's really focused on being grateful for the losses, being grateful for the adversity, and anyone that I have harbored any kind of ill will towards, sending them love, and um, I've noticed in my outward world a different response from some of the people that I really was annoyed with. Um, in my work environment. It's easy to think, oh, that person is a pompous ass and ridiculous. But if you can honestly have a meditation and remember that we're all connected, that's another one of the Piscean, Neptune Piscean illusions, is that we're somehow separate. We are all connected. So, um, taking this energy as an opportunity to really dial down, what button does that person push that we react to, and instead of continuing to react negatively, to embrace it, honor it, that we're connected, they're teaching us something, and to be grateful for that opportunity to learn and grow, and hopefully, transcend some karmic patterns, because, that's the other big part of astrology as a theology or language, is our connections to past lives, and uh, the south node being all those lessons we've learned in past lives, and here in the north node, um, it's the harder parts of us to reach. North node right now in Aries would be about inner child healing. It would be anything to do with the pioneer woman or man inside yourself. Um, uh, there's also something strange about this energy bringing up people or things from the past. We have come out of Mercury retrograde. We've had Uranus station during this full moon. And so right now, all the planets are direct. We don't have any retrograde planets. And I think Mercury doesn't go retrograde again till like April the 1st. So I think we're going to be in somewhat of a wind tunnel of unfolding events for a couple of months. And, whatever comes across your path, just embrace it as an opportunity to grow spiritually and to learn your lessons, because that's basically Pluto, Saturn, Uranus is about learning our lessons and applying them to present day situations. And it gets challenging sometimes. Sometimes it's nice to just be in a warm fuzzy little illusion, and we can certainly visit illusions. There's nothing wrong with that, but ultimately, for getting on down our path and transmuting karma, is that we have learned those lessons, and we've stretched for the things that are more difficult. Um, and North Node in Aries is definitely, I think what was making me think of the pioneering. So today, a blast from the past happened with me in my workplace, where a lady who I really liked and worked with, like probably in like 2018 for a couple of years. And when she came back up in my reality today, and I work at a totally different place than I did then, but our paths are crossing again. And I always really liked her. And she and her husband, methodically for the last 5 years, because in 2018, when I was working with her, they had bought basically a lot of land at the top of a mountain in West Virginia, And every weekend they would go and camp, and they built their little off grid cabin, and they researched what they had to do to be totally self sufficient for their electricity and their water. And it was, it was funny working with her some, because they had to go into this town and like stay in a place while they worked on their house, and the internet would be really unreliable. So, she might be out of touch or take a long time for a couple of days to return your email or get work to you that you needed. And, you'd finally catch up with her. And she's like, well, I didn't have any internet. So today I have crossed paths with her again, and they are firmly living off grid, and that is very pioneering. That's very North Node in Aries. So if you've had a hankering to, uh, this is not energy to follow. It's not about following anybody. It's about you in your own authority, putting yourself out there in a creative, pioneering way, and sort of burning a trail for others to follow. So that's another thing you might want to contemplate in your meditations is, what is your unique gift to offer an ever changing, evolving society? Because everyone has a unique gift in place that uh, is just for you. And that's the wonderful thing about Pluto and Aquarius is people finding their own unique creative expression. And that's what's exciting. So if you feel bombarded with, you know, breakdown in appliances or loss of people or friends or changing vocations, whatever those challenges in our path that come up to be, um, the more you can remind yourself that there is such a greater quantum field of existence, I think the easier those hiccups and steps become. I know since I've been doing the meditation about embracing the adversity and embracing grief associated with the loss of people close to me and special to me, uh, problems don't seem to be that powerful. Doesn't seem to really hold the energy it had on me maybe in the past. So, it's about your practices and what works for you, and everybody's unique in that way with what will work for them. And in astrology, to look for your unique modes of meditation or um, grounding or aligning your chakras, you would look to Aquarius. So Pluto and the sun in Aquarius right now is all about the arts, creative arts, building and rebuilding. You know, great example of that would be you wallpapered your bathroom 15 years ago, and it's time to re-wallpaper it. That's very Pluto and Aquarius, where you tear down your own work and redo it back better. So with your work and media and computers and everything and software, it might be, finding a new way to do a task that's been done one way. That's very Aquarian. So, and of
Oh
course,
yeah.
new software is definitely a big focus for where we're heading in the years to come.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing this whole week
Oh, yeah.
is rebuilding stuff, like redoing things, like to get it up to speed. Like
Nice.
whatever stuff that wasn't working before in the past, it
Yeah.
needs to go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. We shouldn't be using that. That was 1990s. Like,
Right. Right.
it's time to get on with the times. So I've been really tired a lot because I've been working like all day. and it's a lot, but I know that it's necessary and it will be rewarding once it's to the
And
point
so
where
your sun in Capricorn would be sitting within a few degrees of Mars and Mercury right now, and that is exhausting. That is an exhaustive energy. So you're working hard and feeling it, and you're doing your planets for sure.
oh yeah, so I agree being lazy. I don't
Yeah,
care. This Capricorn don't care. Like
here they're calling for like a couple of days of rain. So
it's been raining here. That's why it's even more hard to
yeah,
like, you know, maintain. But yeah, I'm good, honey. I'm good. So yeah, so I guess does anyone have any questions before we get on to the tarot or the card pulls?
the other thing that I'll mention that I hadn't mentioned about the Leo full moon is it helps you tap into your own leadership abilities and teaching abilities.
Yeah.
So if you've been contemplating, say uh, you've always wanted to teach aerobics or yoga or something, you know, approach your local community center or, local. Um, I know around here there's a lot of churches that offer, free yoga classes and things like that. So, if you have something that you feel um, is teachable and that people would be interested in learning, um, just to go do it. Develop a flyer or Instagram account or whatever to promote it, and find the teacher within yourself. And it's definitely an energy of leading and not following. So,
Yeah. Well, I can give you a good example. So, I own a media company and I'm tired. This Capricorn is tired. They want to get off the mountain. And so I'm trying to pass the baton over to my programmer who has been leading the company while I've been doing this YouTube stuff for years now. And he's been doing a good job. And so lately, in the past, I want to say month, um, I've been priming up my marketing girl. I've been teaching her, like, kind of like how to you know, uh, define things, how to plan for things, how to deploy things, and what is the result. And then going back to it, what can we do to improve, you know, um, the things that we have tested because, there's that whole aspect being involved. When it comes to the leadership with my programmer, I can already tell that since I haven't been managing him for the past couple of years. At first, because he's in Aries energy, okay,
mm-hmm,
he was a little resistant to taking authority from me. And I kept telling him, I was like, look, I don't want this. I want to sit back. You can do like CEO if you want. I don't care. But I will teach you like how to go about like doing X, Y, and Z because there's certain things or ways that I do things and not just put stuff out there.
right,
Before he didn't understand that concept. But I think that as he was listening to me and giving it a shot, I guess, he was starting to understand that there was reasoning behind why I say, "Hey, don't go, go, go. Let's take it slow." And as you know, I've been teaching the word patience,
right,
towards our community, but it's also true in the workforce. Like sometimes, even though that you have a deadline, you don't have time to really think about things. It's kind of like on the fly. You
right,
just do it just to get it done. But if you have like a solid process you wouldn't be cutting line and doing those things because when you do like, let's say you put things like in place just to meet your deadline, you're
Right.
gonna look at it and like, well, heck, I could have changed this.
Right.
I should have retracted that. There was something there that I could have done better,
Right.
So there's that whole thing. But so yeah, I think he understands a little bit more. So that's what I've been doing, like for the past couple weeks, just like training people,
Yeah.
which is okay. Maybe that's the new story
Right.
for 2024. But I like it because I think there's a season for everyone. And for the longest time, I've had this company for so many years. I'm done, I've done it. I'm ready to go back to the basics, which is my first love, which is design. Like that's the creative process.
And it's good to know that, right? It's good to figure out what it is you're passionate about and what you want to do.
Yeah,
I think that's
design.
strength,
Like,
you
yeah,
know?
that's what makes me happy. Like, not managing people. And I mean, just because I know how to do it doesn't mean like, I just know how to get it done. That's just a
Right.
Capricorn in me. But like if I were to do it all over again, I would be back, at, let's just say, in a corporate level, kind of like on the bottom, where I would be kind of be left alone. I can sit with my music on and I can just, do whatever I need to do, like
Right.
very low effort, and that would be my day. So,
Yeah, there's something about stepping off the treadmill about this energy. There's something about waking up and knowing we don't have to walk through life like zombies to punch a clock and put money in the bank to pay the bills, and that there's uh, that creative individual part that needs nurturing, and that
yeah,
is
and I don't think that that's everyone's story though. Because with my programmer who is now CEO, he's all about travel. He's all about like, taking this role as being this leader. And so just as long as, you're, within, like the company's vision, then I'm all for it. But if you're like doing things your way, and not like following like the vision of the company, then that's where I have to step in.
right.
So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I guess it's like a learning curve, kind of like that transitory energy um, from going from one place to the other.
Yeah.
But finally we're getting together and we're collaborating more, because back a few years ago when I was so busy, I couldn't I couldn't get him to do anything, you
Oh,
know.
right.
He was doing his own thing and I was like, what are you doing? But now that he realizes that he needs me, you know, now he's, you know, I guess lessening the slack. So yeah. Anyway,
Growing up,
that was a rant. Sorry.
Saturn makes us mature.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to like go into the lazy den over here.
Leo loves things on a grand scale,
hmm Yeah,
artistic.
I mean we're going out. I mean we're going big. I mean we're global now. Like we have offices or partners in Dubai, in the UK, um, in India, also in Australia. So we're global. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, but it's I don't it's okay. Like to me, I think I don't know, honey. I don't know what this energy is, but I
Well, it
think
sounds like you said it, that you your first love is design, and that, that's what you want your focus to be on. And the whole Mars, Mercury, Venus configuration is about finding your passion and
Mhm. No, I agree. I mean, I know what my passion is. It's working on these little teddy bear like gift boxes.
there you go.
Get this. I have a spa pack, a spa gift box coming everyone's way.
Nice,
And it's a lavender eye pack with a soap and body scrub, and it comes with a towel and like lip balm and everything, like a spa
nice,
box that comes straight to your door. So that
nice,
should be coming out next month.
nice.
Yeah, so I've been really super creative and like planning some things out, and it really I like it. I like creating little boxes and packages to help, you know, make you feel good.
Right. Well, it's always good knowing what it is that you want to do and how you want to express yourself. And that is what it's all about for sure.
Mhm. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this down. And
I was going to say the Aquarius new moon is February 9th.
okay, so like in the first week of February.
Yeah, maybe you'll have a box you can show us. I brought out
Oh,
some.
the Gilded Tarot.
Yes, it's very Leo looking. All the gold and artistic expression.
And I'm gonna use your the
Oh,
gift that you had sent me.
yeah,
This is called the Everyday Tarot.
yeah,
Yeah, and it has gold, purple and gold, which is royalty.
it is. Yeah, very Leonine.
Uh-huh. Okay, so first up we have Aries.
Leo full moon would be trining an Aries sun, moon, or rising. Trines are, lady luck, gifts from the universe. So Aries could be feeling very busy and a lot of things happening. I got the Hanged Man.
Okay.
So maybe, one of the things Aries has to learn is patience. So Aries might know, oh, you got the Tower.
I know.
Wow.
So focus. Oh. So it's that shocking energy, right? You had mentioned something that this is a time
Rants.
that
Yeah.
that might startle, like throw you off,
Yeah, sure.
and having Aries to kind of maybe look at things a little bit differently. Um,
And spiritually, I mean, the Hanged Man in its essence is a card about your faith and having faith. And maybe the Tower is that, get off your butt and be the pioneer, pursue that pioneering idea that you've been procrastinating about.
and that's the thing about, isn't Aries all about pioneering or being like
Yes. Mm-hmm.
the leader? Or
They're compulsive. They don't always think things through. Represented by the ram, they tend to ram ideas through without thinking. Ruled by Mars, they can be very compulsive.
so perhaps like thinking things again about what they did,
Yeah.
taking the time to really reflect on that.
Aries is very childlike. If you know someone with heavy Aries energy, they always want to be first. They're very much like a child,
Mm-hmm.
first in line. I want to be first.
Mm-hmm. I think every uh male I've dealt with has Aries in their chart, either like Aries rising or something, or even moon.
Um, they age very youthfully,
Hmm.
be in their 80s and still be very childlike. Or,
Did you? I saw this little short, and it was about this Asian couple, and the girl was like, my parents look so young. I think the secret is eating almonds because she always sees her parents
oh,
feeding each other almonds all the time. It's so
that's
funny.
funny.
It's cute, but I wonder if there's truth to that, because I don't
Yeah,
know if there's any
almond
properties in
oil.
almonds. I mean, there's almond oil, you
Yeah,
know. Mm, that's something. I don't know. But yeah, it was interesting because they did look youthful. Even the husband looked young. I was like, wow, well, you go, and the man is not going to sit there and do like a
yeah.
face job or anything. Like,
Good genes. Good genes.
yeah, it must be good genes. They're feeding like you're eating almonds all the time. So next we have
I love
Taurus.
almonds.
I like cashews.
Hmm.
Cashews are my
I
nut.
probably haven't met a nut I don't like.
Yeah. Oh, I have two. Interesting. Hmm.
So I got judgment.
Okay, so I have Death in reverse and also Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So, wow.
Taurus.
Yeah, that's tough energy. Mm. Not being able to like give into a situation, like you don't want to it's not over yet. You don't want to end something maybe.
Well,
Maybe it's time because it feels like stubborn energy, like not wanting to change.
so Venus is in conjunct Jupiter in Taurus, which would mean changing attitude or perception about something to do with love or money.
Yeah, in this instance, I feel like it's money, but it could be about love.
Judgment
Something.
is karma.
So I don't know. I keep getting like a karmic relationship that is not over yet, but you feel like you can't invest into it anymore. But I feel like you want to move on, like you really want to, because you've invested so much, but you're trying to make a decision. So that's a tough energy, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. I would say use this weekend to think about what your next steps would be. Um, that's tough. Jeez.
Learn your lessons.
Yeah, you can say no, Taurus.
Yeah. It'd probably be a good thing to practice.
Just say no. You're not getting your allowance. Whatever.
And so
You're getting cut
I'm
off.
getting back together with you to treat me bad again.
Yeah. I mean, like, until you give me chocolates,
Yeah.
it's over.
Money. Pay back that loan I gave you.
Yeah. With interest.
Yeah.
So, Gemini, I have Five of Swords and the Moon.
I have 9 of Pentacles.
Mm.
The swords and the moon.
Something like there's a little bit.
Inheritance. Fighting with the twin.
There's definitely like some sort of anxiety about walking away from someone. You feel guilty, and you want to be independent. Maybe you're afraid to tell them why you walked away. Maybe this is someone that you're connected to. This is like really rough energy. Jesus.
Something complete for sure.
And also this is feminine energy. Like, feminines, they don't normally run. They're actually the chaser. But this one, it looks like someone who is leaving someone behind. But I keep feeling like it's this guilty energy of wanting to be alone or wanting to like just go in a different way, maybe letting someone down.
Setting boundaries. I get like healthy boundaries, like
Yeah, because you see like the two wolves over here, like they're on two different sides. I just feel like it's two different opinions. Like, but ultimately I feel like you wanted to just like be alone, and but I don't feel like it's a permanent thing. Maybe it's like I just need to go to the bathroom. Can I just like sit in there for like 20 minutes? Like,
well, and this moon is called the wolf moon in the almanac.
oh yeah.
So the wolf is a loner. They're a pack mentality, but there's also that lone wolf that goes out ahead of the pack. And
Oh,
that person's considered the teacher, or that wolf is considered the teacher, where they bring back the knowledge to the pack.
well, maybe that's what this Gemini is about, like wanting to kind of go like be an Aquarian energy and go off and do their thing. And then when,
Circulate information is what Gemini likes to do.
yeah, so maybe go to a retreat or to like a place and they learn something, then they come back with
Yeah,
information.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Let me know, Gemini. So next we have Cancer. Oh, that was fast. Ooh, we have Five of Pentacles.
I have Six of Swords.
Okay.
Definitely leaving.
Yeah, leaving this energy of feeling alone, feeling isolated. This could be financial, feeling like you're not enough. Um, Maybe on a personal level, but maybe not making enough. Maybe you're going on this journey that your enough is enough. That like you should be moving on, and accepting things as they are, and then really making improvements on self, maybe.
I would get next to some water for the full moon.
Or take a shower.
Yeah,
A long hot shower.
yeah.
Or a bath. Yeah, that's
Plan a trip.
yeah, go on a cruise, or I don't know,
Go
go
fishing. Going fishing.
fishing. Yeah, if you like to fish. So next we have Leo.
Leo and the Leo full moon.
hmm Let's see what's going on, Leo.
I got the Knight of Swords.
Okay. So wanting to maybe communicate something quickly. Let's see.
Maybe some epiphany of some sort.
I have the Fool.
A new perspective on something.
Mm-hmm. Like leaving it all behind.
There's that loyalty card.
Mm-hmm. With your trusty dog.
Sometimes you have to be loyal to your heart, and it doesn't mean you're not being loyal to someone else.
Do you see that? This one has like two different shoes.
I do. I noticed that.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And do you see how like both of the knight and this fool are going in the same direction?
Yeah. Fast.
Where are you going, Leo?
Yeah. What is the walk off the cliff and knowing you'll either be taught to fly or land on something solid?
Mm-hmm.
So Leo full moon for Leo is about sort of bucking up your faith. What do you believe in?
Hold on, let me see something here.
Might be an intellectual um, discovery of some sort. Hell, go horseback riding.
Yeah. I definitely do feel like something like you know what you want to do. It's time to move forward, like, ready for new energies, new destinations, ready to put one foot in front of the other. Like, I feel like it's clear.
I get that song in my brain from Keep On Trucking, Baby. Gotta keep on trucking.
Well, maybe it's time to keep on trucking.
Don't let the dogs get you down.
Yeah, that dog would look like it was happy though. Ooh. So I have Seven of Swords in reverse for Virgo.
I got the Magician. So definitely some kind of karmic lesson or
What are you doing? Hold on. I think because I keep hearing something. Hold on.
I keep hearing Luna panting.
She's chewing on something. It looked like paper.
Oh, my dogs love paper.
Oh my god! I knew it. Oh, it's a brown paper bag. Well, stop. Stop acting like that, sweetie.
But it tastes good, Mom.
Oh yeah, she had to chew on it for sure. Sorry.
So I had to tell you this. I
Mm-hmm.
had brought home some cash and I put it on a step to go upstairs. Leon disappeared. I was like, "Where is Leon?" And he chewed up two $20 bills.
Oh,
So I took a baggie and I put with all these shredded little pieces of $20 bills in this baggie.
mm-hmm.
Next day I took it to the branch, the bank, and I said, I didn't say my dog. I said, I have these damaged 220s that I need replaced for good 20s. And then two people at the counter were like, "Oh no, we can't do that." I was like, "Sure you can. You're a bank. You all are supposed to replace damaged currency."
Uh-huh.
"Oh no, this is too shredded or whatever." I was like, "No, you got all the pieces there. I just didn't want to tape it all together." And "Oh no, can't do that." And I was like, "Well, I think you can, and you need to ask your manager." And then the manager come out and look at it and said, "Sure, we can replace that." So banks are supposed to replace damaged currency. Don't ever let them tell you they don't.
Oh, that's a good nugget of information.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, heck. Well,
I
all
didn't
right.
want to tell them my dog chewed the money up. I
I
just
think they can tell. Like
So what's Virgo doing here?
Virgo is trying to tell the truth that maybe they're trying to do something. I don't know what, but
A lot of alchemy in this magician card.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because with the Seven of Swords, I mean, it's about like, sneaky behaviors and things like that. But for this,
Maybe it's about coming up with a strategy for something.
mm, that would be in the upright position, like having a strategy. But this is about coming clean, being honest. I feel like they're really working on something. Maybe before they were acting like they're making plans but not really going nowhere. But now they're just being more real with themselves.
Well, it's definitely would be helpful for Virgo to just have that laser focus on something.
Mhm. Yeah, cuz if you're being honest and clear about what you want to manifest, then go ahead and do it because this is a good time to do it, you know. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good, Virgo, because y'all know y'all can work too. Y'all are workaholics.
Little perfectionist.
Uh-huh. Okay, next we have Libra.
Libra. The lover.
I've been channeling Libra lately. Libra's been having a hard time. I don't know what's going on astrologically for them, but for me, I've been channeling hard times for Libra.
Well, the Aries North Node would be opposing Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So that's definitely being challenged to stretch out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the Eight of Wands.
Oh, I got Eight of Swords in reverse.
Oh, they don't know which way to go. They're being indecisive,
Yeah, so
being true to their nature.
I guess trying to get out of your head about wanting to communicate or wanting to travel, wanting to do something. Um, this could be about work. This could be about really it could be about anything. Um, Also not wanting to be stuck in your head about a situation, but like trying to get it out, like wanting to communicate this either through text messaging or actually seeing someone about this issue that you have. So I definitely feel like it's more communication. Um,
A lot of fast energy.
yeah, like you just had like the guts to just spill it out. Like,
And then run.
yeah. Did I just say that? Yes, you did. Okay, well, because Libra, they're always like kind of in their heads about
Yeah.
uh maybe like a decision or anything
Trying
like
to
that.
balance all the facts and then they can't make a decision.
Yeah, they procrastinate almost.
Yeah.
Um, but I see that you're gonna finally just go for it and just do it.
That
So
would be very successful.
yeah, I mean, and for whatever outcome it is, it's gonna be okay. Even if it's not a desired outcome. You know. So next we have Scorpio.
I think Scorpios are going through a difficult time.
Yeah, I see here Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It ain't going nowhere.
We got a Four of Pentacles.
Oh yeah, holding on to your money, not going nowhere, not spending nothing. Um, Holding back.
I think they're challenged with, so this Uranus Jupiter would be opposing their sun, moon, or rising. And where Scorpio doesn't like to communicate, they like to be somewhat mysterious or secretive.
Mm-mm.
Having Uranus and Jupiter opposite any major placement in your chart is agonizing. That's like the energies left on their own want to communicate something and want to make you come out with a secret, but your nature is to not. You don't.
That's a good explanation. Um, yeah, I mean,
And maybe feeling a little melancholy.
mm-hmm. I'm also getting like not really wanting to open up, like really closed off energy. Do you see like the guy holding the pentacles and also this energy of the knight
Yeah.
not moving forward, just like really wanting to close off. It's kind of like typical Scorpio energy, but maybe you have to like throw up something, like ooh. You didn't want to, but it had to come out.
And it would be squaring the the full moon. I'm sorry. It would be a square, which is a lot of pressure on the self,
Mm-hmm.
not so much outward pressure as it is being hard on themselves.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, um, Well, I think it's because I have a mixture of different, you know, placements in my chart. I can be very hard on myself, but I know I shouldn't. It's just typical.
It's
Yeah.
just another opportunity um, to face your dragon. Ah,
I
okay,
go, my dragon.
face the dragon. Oh, let's see. Oh, Saggy, I got High Priestess.
Interesting. So for me, I have Eight of Cups and Six of Swords in reverse. Hmm. Wanting to walk away after coming back towards a situation or leaving a situation. I feel
Well,
like you're going back somewhere, like going back towards a past person, a past situation. Um,
the moon might make Sag feel reminiscent of a past love, maybe, or motherly love. I get from the High Priestess, a certain degree of nurturance or mothering kind of energy.
hmm I don't know. It feels really deep. I feel like you're always wanting to be happy, but you were never really completely happy. There's someone of your past that you keep going back to. Um, and you know you have a spiritual connection with this person. Uh, yeah, I just keep you get your in your head about this. For some, maybe you want to walk towards this individual. I maybe for some you are. But I feel like it's a past person energy that you've been thinking a lot about or thinking of going back towards. Um, I would say just meditate on this because do you see? Okay, for this one, there is like this water energy here, and then also the water energy is in reverse. There's
Yeah,
like two different wavelengths over here.
right.
So I feel that maybe you're just not on the same wavelength as this other person that you're connected to. But yeah, so I would say just really do meditation, kind of similar to what Sunny had mentioned earlier to kind of get your bearings or your groundings on a situation. I think would probably be the best thing.
Gemini is the opposite of Sag, so that could mean possibly comparing two different people or some
I
kind of
think so.
duality.
I have a feeling like it is two different people too. One of them is a mother and one of them is probably not, or maybe they're a mother towards someone else. Um, but yeah, it feels like
Priestess would
past energy.
say, you know, trust your intuition. So
hmm Yeah,
get
because if you're at the Eight of Cups and you weren't happy with that, and you're trying to go back to someone who makes you happy, I mean, go back to that person. Like, I don't know. Try it out.
to take a trip. Sag wants to travel and take.
Yeah, go travel to that person and see what's going on. Might be something you haven't really really tried 100% with. Always coming and going, never staying.
Whoa!
Anyway, next we have Capricorn.
I got the sun.
Well, that's positive.
Yeah. So Mars, Mercury, and Venus are all in Capricorn right now. Mars and Mercury are very close together, same degree. So that's definitely Mars, Mercury is edgy. That's somewhat argumentative or just not feeling great.
Well, I do see here the Ten of Swords feeling like you can't move on. So so maybe shining the light on a situation where you know that it's just over.
And the sun is that reminder of promises fulfilled, that, or I guess always making room for the new thing in your life.
Well, I can say that. I mean, I'm very happy these days, and I'm pretty much putting a nail in the coffin towards my past and moving on. So, I'm good. So, yeah, uh,
It's
pretty positive in my opinion.
opportunities and communication and
Well, after the 10 is the 1, and so you can't go more than the 10. If you feel like you can't go on, then it's done. Yeah. So I feel like, it's like
back to the
Capricorn, it's like realistic. If it ain't working,
practical,
it's not working.
yeah,
Yeah.
down to earth.
Yeah. That's that's pretty typical, right, Cap?
Yeah,
Nothing new.
it's working.
Yeah. So next we have Aquarius. Ooh, wow. Oh, we have 4 wands. Oh,
Oh, let's see. Oh, I have the Five of Wands.
oh wow. That's a lot of fast movement there.
Not a confusion.
Hmm. Well, this is about like celebrations, being stable. This could be like coming together, it could be marriages. With the 5 of Wands, that could mean conflict between people. Um,
This is the Sun and Pluto conjunct, which is combust. Hard
mhm.
to hard to get forward momentum. This
Hmm.
a lot of change.
Mhm.
Might feel a little revolutionary.
So I feel like 4 wands is something like a stable energy. You notice how it's like the calm before the storm, right? Like
Yeah.
everything is stable, everything is cheery, and then comes like this Yahoo over here wants to pick a fight. It's like, nah, you can't have like calm and peaceful. Then you're gonna rough things up. So there could be a shift in energy, Aquarius. Um, yeah. It could be like friends, family, coworkers, something like that. So just be mindful that if somebody wants to pick a fight, and you know how to handle it.
And I get from the Five of Wands too, a great deal of change.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe from that stable foundation, they navigate change better.
Or maybe in order to feel this sense of happiness, there has to be change, like
Yeah.
with stable home and a family and things like that. Um,
Pluto in Aquarius is the life, death, life cycle in all things.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's somewhat positive, right?
Yeah. It's all good.
So, yeah. So finally, we have Pisces.
Yeah. I got Saturn, Neptune, and the part of fortune in Pisces. It's a lot of pissies.
A lot of what?
Pissies.
Pissies or pissed off
It
Pisces.
can be difficult.
I know my brother. He's been gaining weight. That's all I
Um,
know.
King of Wands.
Who is that?
King of Wands.
King. Okay. I have the Hangman in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse.
Oh, don't know which way to go. The fish swimming upstream, right?
Yeah, pissed off, like one thing you're just like all about it, next thing you're a jerk or a
Yeah.
B, and and you think you've seen it all, but you haven't. And this could be like the know-it-all Pisces, the all-seeing, all-knowing,
Yeah.
and then like this fired up energy, like going in one direction and then retracting.
Yeah, Pisces, Neptune and Pisces in its home, they're the psychic sponge, so they need to be aware when they're feeling bad that it's not them. They've picked up something around them. And Saturn would be the reminder notice of, maturely um, processing those emotions, that you don't have to sit around sipping your cognac, stewing. Just get to the bottom of whatever it is you're feeling and transcend it.
That might be difficult.
Yeah.
Mm,
They'd rather have a whiskey.
yeah. uh, especially when it's raining outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're feeling it. They're like, they're probably
My
moody.
dad was a Pisces, and he had an Aquarius rising. He was a very quiet man, and he really enjoyed like a couple of splashes of whiskey over ice cubes and to sit in his chair and just zone out, with the TV on. He was, when he did express emotion, pay attention because it took a lot for him to get expressive.
Hmm.
Otherwise, he just kind of liked to chill and numb out.
Interesting. Hmm. I don't know. My brother, he's pretty expressive,
Yeah.
but I know when he's in a funk because he goes quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I know when I hurt his feelings too.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah. But that could be like the sibling sister energy,
yeah.
knowing how to press buttons and stuff.
I can't remember which one of y'all is older.
I'm older. I'm like 8 years older than he is.
So you're the big sister.
Oh yeah. Uh, so I'm looking here in the chat. Let's see here. Your birthday is in 2 weeks. Can I get a box? Yes, ma'am. You can get a box. I'm trying to put it up on my Etsy shop. But it's also on foxytees.com.
So I'm really excited. I had a friend get left a bunch of jewelry from a lady that she used to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool rings, and they are up on my Etsy shop. And
Oh yeah.
I sold one this week. They're kind of like, emeralds and rubies. Um, emeralds and rubies. I think there's a sapphire. Some of them are gold, some of them are electroplate. But anyway, I sold this one that was emerald and diamond to this lady, and she wrote me today, and she'd gotten it, and she was just thrilled with it. I just love when people, you know, enjoy something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, especially when they give you feedback and they're over the moon about,
She said it was
receiving.
beautiful, and she wanted to wear it every day. And I was like, "Oh, thank you. That's great. I love hearing that because a lot of
Mhm.
times you don't really hear it, you know."
Yeah, yes, and you don't want to like say, "Hey, how was your delivery?" that's nice. To hear that. That feedback from them. So that's
It
good.
is. Yeah.
Hmm. Let's see here. Who else? My DM is a Gemini. I'm a Leo. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm
That's
holding back because I'm broke. uh, but you're holding back because you're broke. What's that mean? Um, if you're talking about like buying a gift box, well, I have like this giveaway that I'm doing. It's gonna happen next week or the week after. So if you guys keep peeled, there is an opportunity to win a gift box.
well, now I want you to write in the chat. I am abundant. My family and my friends are abundant. And
Uh,
never again put in writing, I am broke. You don't want to put that out there. Turn
hey,
that around.
I am. I can't see because it's crystal ball.
I am abundant. My family and my friends are abundant. Just fake it till you make it.
Like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Repeat daily. It
Let's see.
works.
Um, I'm Aquarius and having issues with X.
Mm.
Well, then I would say this is a time to really look at and see is that relationship working out for you, and then if not, you know what to do. My moon is Pisces. Oh man, that resonates with Pisces reading. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, does anyone else have questions for Sunny at this time, or anything that you guys want to speak about?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. The new moon is February 9th.
The 9th. Let's see, what day is that on? Oh, it's a Friday. Oh, well, what do you know? Yeah, it's on a Friday.
Shall we meet on Friday the 9th?
Yeah, we can. I mean, I'm pretty open. We can do same time, same place.
I am putting it here. Same bat channel.
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius new moon. That's exciting.
So, any kind of like cliff notes on what that might be about?
Um, well, it looks like we've got a stellium in Aquarius. So we're going to have Pluto and Mercury holding hands in Aquarius. We've got Mars within a few degrees of Pluto. Let's see here. That is a lot right there. Venus, Mars, and Capricorn coming up on a few degrees away from 0 degree Pluto in Aquarius. Let's see. I would say, and then let's see, the moon and sun, 20 degrees Aquarius, making a trine to the south node. So that definitely brings back in stuff from the past. Suddenly, let's see, boy, that configuration right there, Venus, Mars, in Capricorn, within 3 degrees of Pluto in Aquarius. So it's an out of sign conjunction. And then Mercury, 7 degrees past Pluto. So leading up to the new moon might bring communication of a unusual and surprising nature. I would say a few days ahead. And let's see, we've got Venus making a trine to Uranus. So sudden, Uranus and Taurus, sudden information about money, sudden information about love, love at work, there's something about the professional um, trines or gifts from the universe. So that could be like a bonus, whether it's like a boner with a person at work or a bonus in money. I don't know. That's a
Something extra.
something extra, and that is an intense configuration right there. I'm gonna have to meditate on that.
Okay, so February is looking hot. Like,
Venus, Mars, and Capricorn. That's keeping it real.
yeah.
Pluto, Mercury, and Aquarius. Quirky, unexpected information. That makes me think a little diabolical of like a negative manipulation of CGI or something about artificial intelligence that is not for our best. Um, Definitely a connection to the past. I don't know. We need to explore more about how they're trying to apply artificial intelligence into our daily lives.
I have been not reading articles lately on this crap that they're pushing out in social media that is also being pushed out on non major networks also. I keep seeing mixed messages, like, and I think it's like opinions. It's opinionated comments, and maybe not based on facts. It's just like, you know, thoughts, you know, and it's hard to say like what is real, you know. So for me to not like engage in like content that might cross my path, I just don't engage in that bit of information, and I go on my merry way. Because I keep getting like, you need to see this, or this is happening, and I
Right,
think it's a lot of fluff
right,
and a lot of like, you know,
right,
because there's some people out in the community that speak like they know like
right,
inside information, and they don't. I feel like it's fake. Like fake news, like what we call in big media stuff. There's a lot of fake crap going on with the little ones too. Like I can't even. And for the time that I ignore those headlines, nothing's affecting me.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm living my life. I don't know what the hell is really going on, you know. And
Alicia has questions here.
oh, hold on, let me see.
I have not heard of pattern, but I'm going to look it up.
Let's see. Have you heard of the pattern? It talks a lot of our charts and things that happening right now. Um, I did do a pattern test on one of those dating like apps or some shit. I think it's a cognitive psychological test. But yeah.
Talking about charts.
Yeah, it's an app called The Pattern. Yeah, I've tried that before. Basically, I think I tested as like an INFJ, but I've had that for majority of the stuff, but then recently I was labeled something else, like a ENFJ, which I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but
I am going to pull a card for you said you want to know how your DM is feeling.
mhm.
So I pulled out the Lover's Tarot. So let's just have a moment. Alicia, how is her DM feeling? And I got Temperance.
Mm.
So that's a very Aquarian card. Might
Mhm.
be feeling a little revolutionary or quirky.
Also, temperance is like patience,
Yeah,
like taking their time.
weighing out things
Mm-hmm.
between the chalices. Maybe exploring how to communicate with a spirit guide.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's asking a tarot reader about you. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so he probably needs a little bit of time, but he's been thinking about you is what I'm feeling from that.
it's a nice feeling. Temperance,
Mm-hmm.
air, intellectual.
Thinking.
Yeah,
So
meditate.
yeah. Yeah,
Next.
not really like taking any actions, but really trying to balance within because in my tarot deck I call it the twin flame card. So to me that's a signifier of a twin flame connection, but also balancing out your masculine and feminine energy within,
Right.
by tempering your insides.
So when you say still haven't heard back from him since I set boundaries, the I've been hearing this saying different places, but around me consistently for a while. Anything that was meant to be yours doesn't miss you. I mean, you don't miss if it's meant to be yours, it will land. You know, you'll find
Mm-hmm.
it. If something is meant to be with you or part of you, you don't have to worry about it passing you by.
Yeah, it just comes. I mean, it should feel natural. You don't have to like if he ain't showing up, he's just not ready. I mean, but that doesn't mean like he won't ever come. It's just everyone has like their own like
Timeline.
yeah, timeline, energy, like maybe they got, stuff that they're doing with. But if when they're ready, they're ready. I mean, they'll be available and they'll be calling you and texting you and things like that. So, yeah, you'll know.
It's all good.
Hmm. So, yeah, so anything else?
I think we have solved a few of the world's problems.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, if anybody wants to book a reading with Sunny, you can head on over to linemountainhealing.com. Let's see here. Yep. And there's a link to her Etsy shop, etsy.com/shops/Lion Mountain Relics. And check out her latest jewelry because I think you posted some new ones up there
I
too.
I did. Some vintage rings.
Yeah. And it's Valentine's, so give yourself something special.
Right. Righto.
Yeah. And feel pretty. Yeah, because this is that Leo
Oh,
energy too. So,
we love adornment.
yeah. So that's a perfect time to give yourself something nice. So let's see here. I think I'm
Can't
missing.
wait to see your spa box.
I can't either. I am. I have a shipment coming in tomorrow, and I'm waiting on those lavender eye packs because
Yeah.
I think the lady's like sewing it up as I'm speaking. Like,
Right.
so I'm really excited to put
No
it
more
all together.
buys. What do you want to ask about your DM? What is your question? Type a question in there that we can project to the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she say her DM was a Gemini? Am I missing that?
I
Yes.
don't know. Because it's been a while since I personally have heard from Normalize, and I don't know which DM she's speaking of.
Okay, we'll just ask the same question. How is No More Lies DM feeling?
Mm-hmm.
The universe will know which one and who and what we need to hear more than anything at this time. Strength.
Oh, it's the Leo card.
Yeah. He's feeling passionate and fired up,
Mm-hmm.
virile, vitality, taming the beast.
I can't help to see that La Masque is so huge over that person's head.
Yeah,
Huh.
I'd say he's feeling pretty good at this full moon.
Mm-hmm. Um, that was me. He's a Gemini. Oh.
I would say he's feeling passionate, and this is all about taming the beast inside.
I'm hearing like maybe he's having the courage to show up
Yeah,
and change. Um,
courage is a big one there.
yeah, he didn't have the energy to do it before, but he's coming around. Um, because I feel like you're the tamer. You tame the beast. So, yeah. You will look next week. Mm, yeah,
Nice.
that's what I have.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's
Um,
to a roaring start for the next for the new year.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a dragon myself, but I think I'm a metal dragon. I don't remember.
Ox.
You're an ox.
Year of the
Ox,
ox.
oxes is like they work hard and
Yeah,
but I mean that doesn't
they were
phase you.
pretty hard headed.
Well, yeah, that too.
So one time years ago, I was at a local county fair, and they had this heritage village set up like back in early settlers days. There was a lady making lime soup. There was a guy grinding corn and giving away cornmeal. There was like a camp that was like the physician and all of his barbaric looking surgical tools. And then there was this covered wagon and two oxen. And for $3, you could get on the wagon and take a ride around this park in the wagon. Well, I had to do that. Now, you would not believe you have a totally different perspective of early settlers coming across a mountain range in a covered wagon pulled by two 1,500-pound oxen.
Mhm. Mhm.
Never realized what huge animals they are. And so I was sitting up on the bench. There were people who could ride in the back of the wagon, or there was some space on this bench, and you're looking behind like these animals
They
girth
could be pooping in front of your face.
no, they're like 6 feet wide. I mean, they were huge, and it was very bumpy ride. I mean, it was like "Grr," and I was like, man, this is like a whole new perspective on going west. I mean, like to travel that way was just, oh my gosh.
Like riding the horse would be better than riding the wagon.
And
Which
women
is
had babies in the back of that wagon. And, you know, I think I still have some. I'm not sure if it's all up on my site or not, but I went through a period of selling a lot of vintage depression glass, which around here on the East Coast is very common. You can't, you really don't, doesn't sell well. But everything I sold was like out west. And I thought, well, no wonder it all broke up in the back of those bumpy wagons. Nobody could get it but so far. I mean, it was just an incredible perspective to see. I had no idea. Here all these years later, I'm still talking about it. So it was very, very eye opening how people carved out their survival off the land.
Mm-hmm.
And we've become very spoiled.
Yeah. Well, that's why we decided to be born in this day and age and
Yeah.
have cars and.
I think it's really important that we make a concerted effort to get away from electronics every day for a while,
Mm-hmm.
unplug, and
Yeah, because then you'll have to rely on crap like this, or copper or whatever, like shungite, you
mm,
know, for EMF energies. And I do have like um a device that records EMF. And this right here, it doesn't have a lot of radiation. The cell phone, it beeps like a beacon. It goes boop, like it goes in waves where it spikes.
right.
And so I would say if you sleep with your cell phone, keep it like at an arm's length or further if you can.
They say keep it out of the room.
Well, yeah, I mean that would be better if you can. Like I know I can't. Like I watch like my cell phone, like like YouTube or like movies on my app to fall asleep. But I try to put like kind of further away.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know much about Chinese astrology other than it goes by the year you're born and the different animals.
hmm My mom, she knows more about that. I don't,
I,
but
I
she.
do work with a girl from China that told me that the year of the wood dragon was a year of prosperity.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that gas prices went down slightly, but that could be because the elections come around the corner after all these years of
Such a
thinking.
manipulation, I know.
It is what it is.
Well, it's midnight,
Oh.
so I guess I'm gonna get my dogs out one more time and go into a lazy, rainy weekend.
I'm there with you, honey.
I hope everybody gained something who joined us, and if you're seeing it another way, that thank you for your energy and time.
hmm Yes, thank you for always coming on and sharing your wealth of knowledge with the collective. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm happy to share as much as anybody's willing to absorb.
Yes, yes.
All
So,
right. Well, give Luna a hug for me. And
oh, yes, and Leon and Mojo,
yeah,
all our love going your way.
tucked away from Leon. Leon chews anything paper.
Oh, he's a paper boy.
He is that.
Well, now I know what to give him next time. Like,
Gosh.
I don't want you to clean that stuff up because I know how it is.
Well, thank you. No more lies. We're a reflection of you.
Yeah, thank
Enjoy
you.
your weekend. Do something creative. Splash paint on a canvas would be a great way to do a Leo full moon.
Mm,
And I'll
yeah.
figure out the wisdom from our Aquarian new moon. That's a doozy right there. I've got to find something. I might do a little digging back in history to see when we've had that. First thing that comes to my mind is maybe some chaotic weather patterns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grateful for you as well, Alicia.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you, Alicia, for being here.
All right, Scorpio Moon, I'm signing off. Say
Okay.
Sarah, Sarah.
All right. I'll see you next time.
Joke. Bye now.
All right. Bye. All right. Bye, guys. We'll see you next week around the same time. But not next week, 2 weeks from now on the 9th, February 9th. All right.